Good morning, traders, and welcome to NewsWare's Trade Talk for Tuesday, March 10th. Okay, let's get into the action. Take a look at the S&Ps. The S&Ps were trading higher all morning long, but they've just since reversed, and now we're trading lower. We're down 0.32%. Pete Hegseth just came out and said that the Tuesday is going to be a big day for bombing in Iran. That kind of contradicts what President Trump has been saying yesterday. Not good this morning. We just turned, from a very positive opening to a negative one. So we got to keep real in touch with these comments coming out of Washington. President Trump's comments yesterday did boost the market sentiments, while oil prices were retreating from their recent highs. But and then you have that policy front where the Group of Seven is getting together to discuss a coordinated release of oil from strategic reserves. That's very, that did weaken oil, but the energy markets are highly sensitive to these regional developments, particularly with regards to the Strait of Hormuz. Now think about it. The Strait of Hormuz is still essentially closed. I think I saw something, only four tankers have gone through the waterway so far this month. 4. I mean, that's nothing. Normally there's like 100. So we're really seeing, there's hundreds of ships waiting to get through. Now, this traffic could start to flow through, but any traffic flowing through there, if anything gets hit, I got to tell you, that's going to cause a spike in oil prices. That will definitely hurt oil prices. What else do we have on the economic calendar today? We got existing home sales. That's set for release. In corporate news, NVIDIA is planning announcements on its AI agent platform ahead of next week's big conference that they're having. Amazon is testing robo-taxis in about 10 cities. Microsoft is talking up their Copilot. On the earnings front, listen, the earnings front is interesting to me because, like Hewlett-Packard was trading higher. It has since turned lower. I mean, I'm looking at HPE and it is down on the day now, but it was higher. Casey Stores also released, and that stock's trading lower as well. But Neo's up. They released, they're up 7% this morning. So it's still kind of a mixed bag in terms of the earning front. And then we have Oracle. Oracle's the big one. That's scheduled for release this afternoon, and that's what everybody's going to be watching. That's going to be the one that's talked about tomorrow morning. That's going to be the one that's talked about all day today as well. So keep an eye on shares of Oracle. Okay, let's take a look let's move on and let's take a look at the European markets this morning, see what type of action we're seeing. The DAX is up 412 points. That's 1.76%. I mean, it was up over 2%, so that is weakening. I mean, we're still seeing some positive action in tech and financial stocks. The FTSE's up 1.19%. I mean, it was up 1.68%, so it has pulled back, but we are still seeing gains in mining shares, airlines, and banks. The CAC in Paris is up 93 points. That's 1.18%. I mean, it was up 2%. I mean, luxury, airlines, banks, industrial stocks, showing some positive momentum today. Then we're taking a look at Asia last night, and Asia was green across the board. We had the Nikkei up 1,519 points. That's 2.88%, as tech stocks really drove that index higher. Then you have Hong Kong, which finished higher by 551 points, or 2.17%. Led by tech, financials, and consumer stocks in China. China was up, 0.65% overnight. Their export data, came out really strong. It surged 21.8% in the first 2 months of the year, which was much stronger than what the forecasts were looking for. And tech and, new energy stocks, that really led the rebound. Now we're taking a look at oil this morning, and oil is it's still trading lower, which is a good sign. I mean, you got WTI at $89.99. That's down 5.04%. You got Brent at $93.12. That's down 5.90%. Trump's comments yesterday really did cause these oil prices to slide. If you remember yesterday, on Sunday night, oil prices hit almost 120 a barrel. I think it was 119.50 area. But they pulled back, and then they opened yesterday about 105, and then they kind of fell a little during the day, and then Trump started talking about, ending the war in Iran. Then he started talking about, sanctions, lifting sanctions for Russian companies. That really did cause oil prices to slide. I actually saw them go down to $81 a barrel, but they're currently trading $90 and around $90. So we're still seeing weakness, just not as much as we saw earlier, because the traffic at in the Strait of Hormuz, that's the big issue. They're going to start putting cargo ships in there. If any one of them gets hit, I got to tell you, you're going to see oil prices spike. So we've got to keep a close eye on the news events happening with respect to the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, we're moving on to earnings reports this morning. We got to start off by talking about HPE, Hewlett-Packard Enterprises, which, hey, face it, they did deliver a beat. I mean, Hewlett-Packard beat by, 6 cents? Yeah, they beat by 6 cents, but it was done on lower revenue. But you look at the stock this morning, it's down 1.69%. It was trading up earlier in the day. Then we got the Casey General Stores, ticker CASY. They beat by 53 cents, but it was done on lower revenue. And that's why you've seen that stock take a hit. It's down 3.22% this morning. Upcoming after the bell today, we got Oracle. EPS is $1.70. Expected move is 11.18%. In terms of economic reports, we got the existing home sales report coming out at 10 a.m. Fed's still in the blackout period, but the existing home sales is forecast is 3.86 million compared to last month's 3.91 million. But looking ahead, we tomorrow we have the PCE. Tomorrow we have the CPI, and Friday we have the PCE report. Market's going to be paying attention to those for sure. Now we're taking a look at the markets this morning. I got about 10 Dow stocks higher. The rest are lower. I'm seeing some gains in Meta and Tesla, but everything else is trading off this morning on the FANG side. You look at Apple. Apple now makes 25% of its iPhones in India. Amazon just stepped up its robo-taxi competition with Tesla and Google. They're bringing up their a Zoot robo-taxi to Las Vegas and offering free rides. They've just announced that they're going to be doing Zoot taxi, robo-taxis in about 10 U.S. cities. Google's YouTube is now the world's largest media company, surpassing Disney. SpaceX is leaning towards a NASDAQ IPO. In terms of Dow Jones 30 news, we've got to start off with NVIDIA. I mean, they have a gaming conference going on right now. Not a big deal. But next week they get the GPU tech conference. That is a big deal. That's going to be a positive catalyst for the stock. So, any real weakness here, you got to think about it as an opportunity for NVIDIA. Microsoft enhancements to Copilot are being designed to offer better workflow actions. Let's see. Talking guidance news, KCC's Q3 EPS of $3.49, street estimate. That was the report. I'm not seeing a whole lot of Hewlett-Packard Enterprises sees full year 2026 EPS $2.30 to $2.50. Street estimates $2.36. That's positive. In terms of buyback news, Bungie, ticker BG, Boyd Grace, they announced a 3 billion share repurchasing program. Bright Horizons, that's BFAM, Boy, Frank, Apple, Mary, they announced a new 600 million share buyback authorization. Okay, that's time. Let's take a look, at our opportunity for our stock of the day this morning, which I'm going to go with CXM, Sprinkle. Earnings are due out tomorrow morning. The EPS is 10 cents. Expected move is 15.31%. Problem is it's a cheap stock. But yesterday's call volume, 79 versus 2, that's very positive. So, but light. So I look at the open interest. Open interest is very positive, 2,526 to 644, very positive. And the major brokers are raising price targets on this stock. They do like CXM, Charlie X-Ray Mary. But, I look at it and I say, I want to get in $5.80, kind of in that area. I think it's a bid $5.79, so I don't think that's crazy, but definitely under 6. But that's my pick of the day, CXM, Sprinkle, Charlie, X-Ray, Mary. Okay, let's move on and let's talk about stories that are hitting the tape over the last 15 minutes or so. See if we see anything really significant. Amazon's targeting 25 to 30 billion in dollar bonds, a euro offering. ADP reports private sector employees he's added 15,500 jobs weekly through Feb 21. Trump says it is possible he'll talk to Iran. Bill Ackman's filing for an IPO under ticker PS. Yeah, well, doesn't have the best track record. He really doesn't. AT&T to invest over $250 billion to advance U.S. connectivity. That's a big commitment. That's all I'm seeing this morning. Well, let's see if there's anything over here. Joby to start U.S. operations in 2026 under White House Air Taxi program. That could be something. All right, okay, let's move on. Let's talk about yesterday's stock of the day, which was UEC, Uranium Energy, Uncle Edward Charlie. I mean, listen, the stock opened up at $12.53, and it fell to $12.25. I was thinking $12.40. And then it rallied. It rallied all the way up to $13.73. And, this morning you look at it, it's at $13.62. I mean, that's like a 5% gain. So UEC was a winner yesterday. And it was a nice one. It was a nice pick. All right, traders, that concludes today's Trade Talk podcast. You guys know what to do. Let's go out there and let's make some green.